Welcome to the Allison's Barbecue Show. Steve Ray, Frank Blair with you here on a Wednesday night. We're brought to you by Butcher's Barbecue. The products, the complete line of rubs, injections, sausage, grilling, oils, and supplies available at the Allison's Barbecue Supply Store.
And also brought to you by the most popular drum smoker in the United States of good old America, the Pit Barrel Cooker, otherwise known as the PBC. Stop by the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store and see how easy the Pit Barrel Cooker really is to use and how affordable it really is.
And we're brought to you by Michelin Tires, available at Steve Ray's Midnight Oil in Ooltewah, where you don't buy the building. Frank, what do you buy?
You buy nothing but the tires.
You buy the tires. That's right. And we are, let's see. I think we can just go right now. I'm Steve Ray.
And I'm Frank Blair.
Frank Blair. We're
Otherwise
here.
known as Neighbor Frank Blair.
Neighbor Frank Blair on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. We got a great show on to Frank.
Yeah.
This guy right back here. This guy right back here is going to be with us in just about 4 minutes. Michael Nockfi.
Talk about a following.
And unbelievable. This guy is the pit barrel guru in the United States. His YouTube channel has over 15,000 followers. Nobody knows more about the pit barrel cooker than Michael Nockfi.
Not even the guys who manufacture.
No, not even that guy. Not even the guy that ships them to me at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store. Michael will tell us all about the pit barrel cooker. And you need to refresh that so you can pull that up, I think, there, Frank. There you go. And, hey, who else we have on the air? We've got Nick Thayer, Chef Nick Thayers from Reinhardt Food Services now, former teacher at Virginia College. Nick won the Scrappy's Chicken Wing Contest that we talked about all month long. And Nick comes in there and wins the thing.
Yes.
Smokestack Barbecue second. Russ Moore over in Hickson. My favorite UPS man, Russ Moore.
Oh, does he work for UPS?
Oh, Russ is a great guy. Russ is a great guy. He wins every year at the thing coming up next weekend.
Yeah.
The Battle Below the Clouds up at
Ruby Falls.
Ruby Falls. Yeah, Russ wins that every year. So, but Nick will be on with us, and I've got pictures of his chicken wing. And you're not gonna believe. Don't tell him what it is yet. I'm gonna show the pictures.
I won't.
But it's. I mean, when you're competing against talent like that, it's tough.
Well, he has won the World Food Championships. 2015, I believe.
Something like that.
16.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ain't backyard talent.
So Nick will be with us in the second part of the show. Hey, I want to remind everybody the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply is open. We're right next door to the Midnight Oil Noodle, to my Midnight Oil Noodle. We've got Jeremy Slavin, my buddy Jeremy Slavin, who we met Saturday down at the Pavilion, at First Tennessee Pavilion. He came by today and was checking out the pit barrel cooker we're selling the pit barrel cookers, $2.99. That's all these things are, and man, they cook great. Frank, you've seen me use it several times over at the gas station when I've been cooking different things, and just a fantastic product. I want you to come by and check it out. And we've also got the complete line of Butcher Barbecue products. Folks, if David Bosca and Butcher Barbecue make it, we have it. Rubs, injections, grilling oils. We have the mixer. We have the instant read thermometer for $20. The thermometer that we paid what, over $85 for, $100.
Plus $100.
Yeah, we have it. David Bosca makes it. The instant read thermometer, only $19.95, and we've got that at the.
That's one of the greatest gifts somebody can give a family member, the guy who loves to cook out in the backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little inexpensive Father's Day gift, $20. Great gift.
And what makes the instant read thermometer so cool is when you open up, your grill and you're making something, and you just want to check the temperature. The old kind with the analog.
Round analog.
Yeah, you got to sit it there and wait and wait.
And burn your hand and the hair off your arms.
And then the heat escapes from your vessel. Yeah. With the instant read thermometer, you stick it in the meat, and boom, just like that, it'll tell you how hot your steak is, how hot your pork butt is, how hot your brisket is, and you'll know right away. Then if it's not ready, boom, you put that lid back down, and you're cooking again. It keeps your energy in your vessel, and not flying through the atmosphere. You know, I had two people come in this week. I want to tell this story before we go to Michael Nockey. Nockey up in Illinois. They did briskets over the weekend. Both of them disappointed in how they turned out. And both of the people that I spoke with, Frank, they did it textbook style. I said, what was your style? What did you do? What was your method? They told me. I said, you should have nailed it. And the more we spoke and the more we talked, and you know what it got down to?
What's that?
Meat.
A lousy piece of meat.
A bad piece of meat.
In both cases.
In both cases. It wasn't, it was some designer, something they had bought at some market or something, and, they advertised it as grass-fed. And, I'm not talking Wagyu or anything like that. I'm just talking about, folks, if you're going to do a brisket, and you want to try a brisket, and you want to make a brisket that's good, and I'm with you. I don't spend $200 on a piece of Wagyu, even a prime. Let me tell you where to get your brisket at. You go to Walmart and catch them on sale. You can buy a 15 to 18 pound brisket on sale, choice, for $2.99, $3.99 a pound.
Yeah.
The briskets I get at Walmart, the choice briskets now, they're not prime, they're choice. $48 to $50.
The primes at Costco have been $3.29 a pound for a full packer,
and that's a bargain.
They're $3.49 right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come down a little bit, but I mean, even that's not bad.
That's where you need to be buying your meat. That's where these guys know where to get the best meat at, because they're the biggest in the game, and that's where you need to go. And I promise you, if you do the same method, if you do the same thing with your brisket that you tried that made it and it tasted badly, you go to these places and get your meat. Now you can, Frank, you can step up your game. You can go, you can go to Snake River Farms and get a Wagyu brisket.
Oh, yeah.
But folks, that's crazy money. And if you're not really sure how to cook it, you don't want to waste that money.
What's your child's education fund for college, for heaven's sake?
Yeah, no kidding. But what we do at the Owl's Nest barbecue store, there in Ottawa, you come in, you can, you can buy tires, you can get your car serviced, and while you're doing that, we can talk barbecue
and get free air. Don't forget that.
Yeah, free air. Frank's free air. It's the Frank Blair free air memorial air thingy, and but that's what we're trying to promote at the store. We want you to come in, and because everybody likes to cook outdoors.
Well, you can't find a more convenient location. I mean, you're right off 75.
Yeah.
You get off, make a left, or make a right, and then make a left. Boom, you're there. So
we want you to come in. John McGuire, hey, how you doing up there in New England? I am so sorry that I did not get to listen to your show today at 5 o'clock. I was at work, but I will listen to it on replay, and I appreciate you listening to my folks at 5 o'clock on Facebook, on the Pit Life Facebook page. There is a show called the Pit Life Barbecue Show. Johnny Mac and Messy Mike, they do it, and they do a great job. And you can come and listen to them. They do a great job on their show.
Owl's Nest, Mike speaking.
What's up, Mikey Mike?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm just telling everybody about my friends up in New England, Johnny Mac and Messy Mike on the Pit Life Barbecue Show. They do a great job. Give them a listen. Come on, 5 o'clock on Facebook Live, and you won't be. It's a great place to get some barbecue information, and then you can kind of hang there on for a half an hour. Then you kind of hang around and wait for us. It's 7.
yeah, make it a night of barbecue.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Nockey, direct from Illinois, United States of America, the administrator of the Pit Barrel Cooker Owners Facebook page. And Mike, what was the address of that YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel, my YouTube channel is Everyday Barbecue. So it's just youtube.com/everydaybbq. And that's really where I started with this whole venture was, starting with YouTube. So the Pit Barrel Cooker Owners Group is a group that I started on Facebook just to grab community members together. I love the cooker so much that, I just like to talk about it and to promote it, because I think it's a great cooker. So, we have a great little group of people there on Facebook, and it's a nice group of people. It's a little over 2,000 members helping each other out with questions and answers, and just a lot of fun to be around.
It's I stumbled across it after I got my Pit Barrel 3 years ago, and I wasn't very active on it. And then the more I got interested in it, the more I monitored it and watched it, and the questions that people ask, and what I like, Michael, are the answers that you and all the other members really help out people that have bought a Pit Barrel cooker. It's amazing the amount of help you can get on that Facebook page.
I agree. I think it's a great support tool for anybody who owns one or wants to own one, just to kind of learn how to use it. And, it's a simple cooker to use. You just have to learn to trust it, and you have to learn a few basic, simple rules. And if you follow those, then you can make some outstanding food every single time. And, there's no moving parts, there's no buttons, there's no switches. It's just a simple, old-fashioned coal cooker that is just one that's so easy to use. And the taste of the food that comes off of it is just crazy good.
Michael, how did you find out about it, and what got you interested in the Pit Barrel cooker?
Well, I saw the Pit Barrel cooker out there, for a while. And when I started my channel, it was one of those I had on my radar that I'd really like to use and learn about and do cooks on. And one of my friends, actually another YouTuber, Ballistic Barbecue, him and I one day were on the phone discussing it, and he was like, that's an insanely good cooker. He says, you should really go ahead and get one. So I reached out to Pit Barrel and talked to them, and I'll tell you what, I was so happy the day that thing landed on my doorstep, and I have treated it like one of my children ever since it's arrived, and I've done my first cook on it.
I compete in KCBS contest, and I take that when I do a KCBS event, I take that and I do my ribs on it, and the flavor that you get off of that barrel cooker is insane. And I try to explain that to folks. It's not Michael, it's not an overpowering flavor, but it's a totally different flavor that you get from even using an offset, isn't it?
It truly is. I mean, it's very unique. It's one that you can't really explain to people, and I think that's the biggest thing, that people have to just experience it on their own, because I've called it the rib machine for, ever since I've owned it. I've referred to it as the rib machine. I mean, since I've owned it, I haven't made ribs on any other cooker. I've got 7 cookers out in my yard, and the Pit Barrel is the only one that sees ribs. So if that's any indication of how good they are, and I said it in my last video that I did, I just posted a Pit Barrel cooker ribs video last Saturday, I believe, and the video is doing fairly well, and I kind of go through the whole process of, my start to finish rib cook on the Pit Barrel. It's very easy to do, not a whole lot to it, but I tried 3 different rubs in that cook. I sauced one of them and left the other 2 dry. Every one of them was outstanding, and I'm a firm believer in that if you have a cooker like that, it doesn't matter what rub you use, it doesn't matter what sauce you use, that Pit Barrel flavor just imparts itself on those ribs to a degree that you can barely tell the difference between one rub to the next. It's just right. It's just insanely good, and the texture of the ribs is a little bit unique as well. I mean, again, you have to experience it. You really do.
The flavor of the meat, it's not quite charcoaly like you would put on like if you put it on a grill. It's a back from that flavor, but it's more of a smoke flavor that you get than when you cook it on an offset or a gravity feed like I use.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in the middle, and that taste you get, Michael and Frank, in the middle is it's the cherry bomb taste on a pork rib. It really is. And the way I did mine, I don't know if you do yours, Michael, the way I do mine. I'm assuming, I haven't gone to your YouTube channel yet. Are you hanging your ribs when you do them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Little
For
less
sure.
hooks.
Yeah.
Little less hooks.
And well, they come
Yeah.
with the whole kit. And let me just and that's a good segue into this. When you buy that cooker from whether you get it from us or you get it online, and they're $2.99, and they're the same price.
Everywhere.
No matter whether you buy it online or you buy it from a retailer like myself, you get everything in that box. You're ready to cook. You don't have to buy anything extra. Now, there are accessories you can get for it, but everything that you need to be cooking with is in that box. And Michael, tell everybody what you have to do to get that cooker ready to cook.
It's easy. I mean, it's all done. It's all based on elevation. So, you look up your elevation and you determine what range you're in for your vent to be open. It's either a quarter to fully open down at the bottom. And that's a set it and forget it. And a lot of people can't get used to that because they're so used to adjusting vents. And the key to the pit barrel cooker is trusting the instructions and trusting the cooker. I've basically gotten mine down to a science now where I'll fill my coal basket with unlit coals, and I'll pull out 25 coals and put them in a starter, and I'll pretty much just get those 25 coals lit and hot and pour those on top of the unlit coals in the cooker. And then from there, this is the really important thing is, the pit barrel cooker really feeds on oxygen. So you have got to get that rebar in and get that lid closed right away. And just after that, you trust it. You let it do its thing. The biggest mistake I see people make is that they're constantly pulling the lid and checking on what's going on in there.
Right.
And, if you give that thing a little bit of oxygen, it's magnified because of the shape of the cooker, and it's sort of like a tornado effect of oxygen that goes in through that vent, and it'll really ramp up the temps in there. So I see people complain sometimes about, well, it's too hot, yada yada. And I say, well, how often do you check? And they say every 15 or 20 minutes. And you can't do that. When I put ribs on, I do not open that lid for the first 2 hours, and it's really that easy. You can just put your stuff on, sit back, forget about it, and at the 2 hour mark, you can start checking and seeing what's going on. A typical, and this, Steve, but a typical rib cook on there is about 3 to 4 hours, depending on the size and a few different variables like the weather. But, you can get some outstanding ribs in about half the time almost that you're going to get on another cooker, and it's just so easy to use that it's incredible.
Michael, yesterday I did 2 pork butts on mine at where I work at in front of the store, the barbecue supply store I have in the gas station. They're about 8 or 9 pound boneless butts I put on there. Put them on the grate. I didn't hang them. Put them on the grate. I set it up. I put them on at 7 o'clock. At 2:30, they were ready to be pulled. After I had wrapped them, that's how fast and efficient.
For 2 of them, yeah.
For 2 of them that the pit barrel cooker cooks on. You can take it to the bank. I mean, the amount of time once you do a cook, if you take notes and you set that, like here in Chattanooga, we're at about 850 feet above sea level. I open up that vent, just short of an inch, maybe between 3/4 and an inch, and that's where I set mine. And that thing will purr right at 265 to 270 degrees. And whether you what's neat about it is the rebars that go through the holes. That's the key, I found out. Those aren't just for looks, folks.
They help dampen it.
That's the damper.
Yeah.
The upper
Correct.
part, everybody says,
Just a hole.
Yeah. Everybody says, where's the the thing that sticks out of the top? I said, it's right here. And they kind of they look at it and they kind of scratch their head. They don't understand. But then when I talk to them, I tell them about it, that air goes in there, and it's almost like, Michael, on the inside, it's like a rotisserie, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the real key to the pit barrel and the flavor is the fact that like when you're hanging ribs, for example, and as those ribs sweat out, those juices hit the hot coals and they vaporize and come back up into the meat, and that's where that real intense flavor comes from. And it's just unlike any other cooker. And I've had people ask me, I want to buy, I want to get into more serious barbecue. I want to be able to cook ribs and pork butt and stuff like that. And what cooker should I go with? And there's a lot of them out there, but for the price, I can't see you beating the pit barrel. I really can't. And it's an easy one to start with, and you may start and finish with it, because I just can't think of a reason why you wouldn't use that for just about every cook. I mean, I've got 7 cookers in the yard, and I have my favorite thing to cook on each one, but I have yet to cook anything on the pit barrel that I didn't thoroughly enjoy, so it's just a great grill.
Hey, Michael, talking about controlling a cook, well, I have it from Good Word here that you got a buddy, Kent, that apparently you guys must have cooked one time in minus 60-degree weather. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah. Well, I did so we had some record-breaking low temperatures here in Illinois. Was it late January or early February? I can't remember. And so we were going to have 60 below wind chill, 30 below air temperature, just still air temperature, and 60 below wind chill.
God.
And I decided I was going to shoot a video in that weather, because I thought, you know what, I'll probably never get another opportunity like this in my lifetime. I mean, that was record-breaking cold. So I did. I did some hanger steak tacos in that weather, and that video was kind of cool. I also did a couple of cold weather experiments where I threw a bucket of hot water in the air, and it literally turned to snow and ice and fell. And I did the whole blow a bubble, a soap bubble into the air, and that froze and just disintegrated. And so it was a really cool video. You guys should check it out on my page, and you'll enjoy it. Believe me, I didn't cook that on the pit barrel, but it was still a great video nonetheless. So yeah, Kent knows from seeing that video. He's a buddy of mine out in Iowa.
Well, we were set up on that. I had to hey, hold my beer, watch this kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was a dumb thing, man. I mean, I had bronchitis for a month after that, so it was a long recovery for me. But I look back on it, and I guess I probably would do it again. I don't know.
We're talking with Michael Nachvi from he's up in Illinois, and he is the administrator of the Pit Barrel Cooker Owners Facebook page. And Michael, please tell everyone again what the name of your YouTube channel is for all the pit barrel junkies out there.
Sure. YouTube channel is Everyday Barbecue, so it's Everyday BBQ. If you look that up on YouTube, you'll find me there. And the premise of my channel is that I'm a very normal, average, everyday backyard barbecuer. I try to make some good recipes and be creative and just do some dumb things on video. And, the channel's doing really, really well, but I'm not a competition cooker. I'm not, I'm not Malcolm Reed or Barbecue Pit Boys or anything like that, but I'm just the average Joe. And I like to do average Joe type cooks. And, it's a real fun show. I've really evolved it over the past, couple of years since I started it. So I really enjoy doing it, and I'd welcome anybody to come check it out and subscribe to the channel.
Well, Michael, if you follow competition barbecue like I do, the top cookers in the nation now, they all use drum smokers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they're different. They're all different types of drum smokers. Tim Shear, Shake and Bake. Brad Leiniger uses Tim Shear's cookers. You've got Sweet Smoke Q down in Florida, who is manufacturing drum smokers. That's where the industry is going to, and it's getting away from high dollar vessels like the Big Green Egg, like the big expensive gravity feed smokers, and they're all going toward. And I've got them. I've got them, and they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can get to Chicago from here with them, but the entire competition industry is going towards barrels. And when people see how well the competition scene is going, it will gravitate to the backyard. And that's what makes this pit barrel cooker so interesting. I've had mine for 3 years. And, the first thing I cooked on mine after watching the videos, I love to cook briskets. I'm not a, I always hesitate to tell people about my brisket cooks, but I can cook a good brisket. I really do. I really enjoy it. I've studied it. I've studied everybody's different methods. I've read about it, talked to people all over the nation about brisket. Michael, Frank, I love it. There's nothing about a brisket I don't love. And the first thing I cooked on my pit barrel cooker was a brisket, and I hung it from the rods over the direct fire like you do, and that thing turned out so great. I mean, I did a whole packer, Michael. I put that hook in there. I put 2 hooks in there, and put that point down towards the fire, and the flat up towards the top, and I watched that thing cook. And when I hit 165, I took it out and wrapped it with butter and beef broth, and finished it off. Took it up to 210, and it was as good a brisket as I've ever cooked. And it was so easy that I try to tell people. I say, you can do a brisket on this, because they look at the grate, and they say, well, that's too small to do a whole packer. Yeah, it is, but you got to get outside the box a little bit, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, if you hang it, until the stall, it's going to reduce in size, and then it's going to be more apt to fit on that rack. And you know what? You'll get it in there one way or the other, and the flavors that it's just. I mean, I'll tell you another thing. Not to get off subject, but when you've got a piece of meat on the pit barrel, the smells that come out of that cooker are just.
Oh yeah.
I mean. It's
Absolutely.
so intense. My son and I will literally get chairs and put them down next to the pit barrel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll just smell the smells, I mean, it's so intense and it's unique. It really is unique. I don't really know how else to put it, and I don't want to, exaggerate and make people think that I'm crazy, but I think you just, you have to try it to see. And, like I said, no matter what I've done on it, brisket, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, ribs are my absolute favorite thing to do on there. Every single thing I've made has just been such a depth of flavor, and it's hard to really describe the flavor. I don't know if I want to use the word char or it just tastes like good old fashioned barbecue, but it's elevated to the 10th power.
Chicken wings on the pit barrel cooker. Oh my gosh. You talk about a wing thing. They are fantastic. You can smoke them, and then you can take the lid off, and you can turn that cooker into a grill, and you can get a crispy skin on it, and and it's so easy, isn't it, Michael? Just take that top off, take the rods out, and
let it breathe.
And let her breathe, baby. And it's amazing how quickly the heat comes up on this thing.
Well, yeah, and it turns into sort of a Santa Maria style thing at that point, and so you're not getting burnt, but you're getting the heat to get the crispness, on that skin, and you're still maintaining all the juices inside the protein. So I mean, multi-use, man.
Yeah.
When I do burgers, I'll keep the lid on for a few minutes, and I'll get some nice smoke flavor on them, and then I'll yank the lid and the rebar and finish them off that way, and they just turn out absolutely outstanding every single time.
I hope people will come by my gas station, the Midnight Oil in Ottawa, and come to our new barbecue supply store, and like this Saturday, I'll have ours cranked up out front. I think I'm going to hang some chickens on it. And if you've ever had, Frank, one of those Sam's or Costco chickens,
Yeah.
you know how
The
good
crack
those.
crack chickens.
Yeah, the crack chickens, the ones we get down right down the street at Publix.
And half of it's gone before you ever.
Yeah,
get home.
the ones Michael, they're the ones that everybody in America stands over the sink and eats them because they're so
I make
good.
chicken soup out of those bad boys,
Yeah.
man. They're good.
Yeah,
They don't last long to make soup at my house.
the Pit Barrel
Gotta
Cooker
get two of 'em.
has a chicken hanger. They call it a turkey hanger, but it's a chicken hanger and turkey hanger. And you can put about you can squeeze 4 chickens in there, 4 good sized chickens in there, and it only takes like 3 hours, Frank, to cook these chickens. And Michael, I know you've done it. Tell everybody how good they taste. It's insane.
incredible.
It
I
is.
mean, it's just they're so juicy. They retain so much juice. The flavor is just, again, we go back to the same thing. I mean, there's such a unique flavor that gets imparted on anything that you put in there. But I mean, it crushes the rotisserie chickens at Costco or Sam's, and I love those things. I mean, we buy them a lot. We make, we'll do chicken salad or whatever. I mean, in the wintertime, I don't go out a lot. I mean, it gets pretty darn cold up here, so I will go outside and, I'll cook some stuff from time to time. But so we got a lot of experience with those rotisserie chickens, and man, if you do them on that Pit Barrel, I'm telling you, it's a winner. It beats it. Believe it or not, it does. You have to try it to see it.
I know what you mean about the winter. Gosh, it gets down to 45, 40. Sometimes it gets down to 35 degrees down here. It's crazy.
Yeah, poor you guys.
How do you live in Illinois with the taxes?
I don't know, man.
With the
I'm
taxes
looking
and that
I'm looking
weather,
to move somewhere warmer.
Michael, come on down. Come on down to Chattanooga. No state income tax, only a low sales tax. Man, we got it going on in Tennessee. We would,
Hey, man, I was just
would
telling
love
a
to
friend
have
the other day that if I get an opportunity, especially with my channel, if I were to get an opportunity to relocate somewhere warm and be able to support my family, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we got it going on down here. We got all 4 seasons, and none of them are too extreme. I know it gets hot. I've been to, I went to Chicago one time with my roommate in college, and the temperature was like you were talking about it when we got off we got up there and crawled out of his Gremlin. It was like 35 degrees below zero, and and then they said on the news, it said, "Do not breathe when you go outside because you'll get pneumonia." And I said right then, I said, "How do you people live up here?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, this is nothing."
You get used to it. You get used to it over a lifetime. But I'll tell you, I'd welcome a warmer residency. I'll tell you that.
Well,
right
but
now.
I tell you what, I tasted the pizza and some pierogies up there when I was there, and I said, "Okay, I can live
do
with
this.
I could do this."
Yeah, the food makes it worth it. I mean, we've got Italian beef sandwiches and Chicago style deep dish, and
Yeah.
there's so many unique flavors downtown that it's really a great place to live if you like food. But if you like to be outside all year long, it can be a little bit of a pain because it's pretty hard during those winter months, especially December, January, February. You can't do much except get in your car, get out of your car, and get into the place you're going, whether that be home or work, because standing outside and enjoying the weather is just not an option.
I know. Michael Nachvi, thank you so much for
Michael.
being here on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. And please tell everyone where they can find you on Facebook and on YouTube.
Sure. Well, I want to first thank both you guys,
Yeah, great to have you.
for having me on. It's a real pleasure to be here. And you can find my Facebook page. Just look up Everyday Barbecue. The Pit Barrel Owners group is just Pit Barrel Cooker Owners. And my YouTube channel, again, is just go to YouTube and type in Everyday BBQ, and you will find my channel.
Good deal, Michael Nachvi. Thank you so much.
Have a great evening, Michael. Thanks.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, gentlemen. Take care.
You
too.
bet. And tell everybody up there in cold,
There's a break coming soon. Chicago.
Illinois. I don't know how close he is to. I don't know how close he is to
Chicago.
Chicago, but but it's not a warm place to begin with. All right, we're gonna switch gears, folks. I'm gonna hide behind the curtain, the magic curtain, just like the Wizard of Oz, and we're gonna go and we're going to find Nick Thayers. And you know what I did, Frank? Forgot to put Nick's phone number in here, but I've got it. I have got it right here.
Show
Hold on
prep.
just a second. Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be something? Talk about something interesting. Let's see. Nick, N-I-C-K. Look, there he is. Let's see. 423. Ought to give out his number to teach him to quit winning all
Yeah,
these
everybody call him.
Yeah. Everybody call
Right
him.
about turn-in time,
Call-
next
call-
barbecue
Call
contest.
Nick Thayers and congratulate him on his chicken wing contest win.
Yeah.
Of course, but you know what's
Call him at 10 minutes until turn-in time.
the thing about Nick is he wins all the time.
Yeah.
You better pick up. Watch him not pick up. There he is too.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Yeah. Nick
Nicholas Fears.
Is not available.
Isn't that something? Let's try him one more time. I can't believe this guy. I hope his bosses at Reinhardt Food Services are listening to this right now. At least we're getting a ring now. We are waiting for Nick Thayers to pick up the telephone. He may be still celebrating from his win.
I was going to say, it went to his head.
Oh, he's a piece of work, I tell you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
We're going to try him here to get him in just a second. Hey, you know, Frank, what I want to talk about, too, while we're waiting for Nick Thayers to get his act together and pick up the telephone. UTC did a fantastic job
Yeah. they did.
Saturday at the Scrappy's Wing Contest.
First
don't you
Tennessee
think?
Pavilion, come in the front door by the stadium, and all you could see all the way down both sides was smoke. Of course, it was good smoke, barbecue smoke. So we had a lot of fun.
But you know, this was the 4th annual Scrappy's Wing Contest, and the first one was it was in the south parking lot. It was very small time. I think only 8 or 9 teams were there.
Yeah, 20 registered and 8 or 9 showed up.
Was that first time?
Yeah,
Was it that bad?
20 teams registered, and then there was a bunch of no-shows. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think second time is about the same. Third time we were in the pavilion again, with more teams, but a great location. But number 4, Perry Story and his crew, Eddie O'Brien and the kind of the mock boosters that
Boosters
are
Club, yeah.
that were on the side. They did a fantastic job. We had 18 teams. I think 20 signed up, 18 showed up
18 showed up, yeah.
in the pavilion. The Elks Club donated $1,000 in prize money. Nick Thayers took first place. He won $500. Second place went to Smoke Stack Barbecue.
Yep.
Scott and his
Waters,
family.
his wife, yeah.
And what a great, Scott is Smokestack Barbecue. If you ever see them out, they vend a whole lot there.
They got some good stuff.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're unreal. And then Russ Moore from Hickson, he came in third place. And I believe he won $200.
And you saw everything from $199 Weber kettles to $5,000 smokers. And
Absolutely.
And everything in between.
So hats off to UTC, and this Scrappy's Chicken Wing Contest has the potential, I think, to be Um, it could be a World Food Championship qualifier. I mean, it's got that kind of
Good event.
a momentum
Yeah.
going that they could sanction that very easily to be a World Food Championship event.
It was well attended. It was real tough, folks. All you had to do was show up, and you got to, a host of different style wings at absolutely no charge. Hopefully, you went to the ball game, didn't just eat the wings, but
Yeah.
it was a good afternoon.
Pilgrim's Pride donated all the chicken wings that you could cook.
We have 40 cases, 40 pounds times
Yeah.
18, so almost 800 pounds.
And
of wings.
and they so the teams, it didn't cost them anything in food, and they didn't have any entry fee, and they were cooking for $1,000 prize purse. And I looked up at one time, Frank, after we finished the competition, and there were at least 300 people in the
Oh, yeah.
pavilion,
Yeah.
don't you think?
and still coming by,
Yeah.
Did you guys run out of wings? And we bought an extra case.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people come by too late.
Yeah.
They don't get the memo, and
They
they
show up on time.
they wander by at 2:30.
Yeah.
Go where are all the wings? Well,
it said noon.
it said 11 o'clock, 11 to 12. So next time, read your emails, everybody, and you won't get into that condition. Let's try Nicholas Thiers one more time, because if he doesn't pick up, I'm going to put his phone number out there. I'm pretty sure that's his number. Will you double check it? 618-6989. Yes, it is. Well, looks like Frank, it looks like Nick has thrown us off the bus. So we should have kept Michael Knockby on. So we'll take Nick's picture down because he's on the blacklist now.
Yeah, who wants to be a surprise instant guest?
Yeah, well, so let's just show everybody Nick's turn in. Now Nick turned in. There it is right there. Nick turned in a lollipop chicken wing. And folks, I'm like you. The first thing I said was, what in the world is a lollipop chicken wing? Because I've seen lollipop wings. I have seen Danielle Devacue, one of the greatest barbecue cooks in this nation. Oftentimes, she turns in lollipop chicken legs
Yep.
at barbecue competitions.
Yeah.
And they look just like the picture that is up right now. And I don't know if Nick used, I'm assuming he used the drummy section and not the
Yeah.
flat section. Don't you think
Yeah,
that
that could
that's
be
what?
flat. Yeah. Too
So-
much meat on it.
Yeah. So the drummy is like a little teeny chicken leg.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that is what he used.
And that was an infused wing. I don't remember exactly what was in it. And it had, as I recall,
Blue cheese. There was blue cheese on it.
Blue cheese, and it was infused, a.k.a. injected for us common folks.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, infused is
Oh.
injected.
Oh, okay. So he injected it too.
Yeah.
And he put, I'm sure he put, Nick's usually puts sesame seeds on his stuff.
Yeah.
That's his kind of his
Calling card.
trademark calling cards, right? So if he doesn't pick up the phone, we're going to give away all his secrets. So so apparently he had
And
to
his
put-
phone number, so you can call him.
Yeah, he had to put 15 of these little doodads in the box,
Yep.
which I would love to see that box.
I actually saw the box.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was impressive.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, what do you
Was it-
expect from a guy like him?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we may not let him come back.
Well, that'll treat him. That'll show him.
You think?
Yeah, fix him. Don't fix him up.
But we just can't say enough good things about the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, Perry Story and his staff. And we want to thank all the teams that came out, Eddie O'Brien and all his buddies for the hard work that they did in getting the Elks Club to donate the $1,000 in prize money, Pilgrim's Pride for donating all of the chicken wings, and I mean we cooked wings all morning.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, we bought an extra case of 40 pounds of wings, and we gave every one of those out too. So we cooked 60 pounds of wings.
Yeah.
Saturday.
So we gave them out, and we hoped everybody had a good time. And next year, before it's always going to be on the spring game, and I really do think, Frank, that UTC the athletic department can do more to promote that event.
Yeah.
Than what's going on now.
Well, they had
because
activities for the kids there Saturday, which was good. So it was a family-friendly event. You had a DJ spinning music, which we both agreed probably could have just put on Spotify or whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing. One thing, if people from UTC are watching and listening, the guy playing was good. Don't get me wrong, he was really good, but you don't need that. All you need is a speaker with streaming music. Because you can put on beach music, you can put on, 90s, 80s rock. That's all you need. You don't need a person there. You just need a sound system there to put. Now you're laughing.
I'm laughing. Al Selvage, who helped us out Saturday, his comment is, "What the heck is that?" Yeah, Al, you didn't see it. That was the winning chicken wing, and you go, "That's not a wing," and you're exactly right. That is not a wing.
I forgot to mention Al Selvage from Ottawa, our buddy. He came out. He helped us. And that guy, he cooks. He can grill those wings, can't
he? Right. That's right.
He had them stacked up on the side of the grill. It looked like a scene out of one of those Saturday Night Live skits from years past.
Or the
cheeseburger.
Kitchen in a submarine.
Yeah, those were
with a short order cook.
But Al, we really appreciate you helping out. And the coolest thing I saw down there was right next door to us, Jeff Maxwell and his partner George and his son Nolan. They cooked the chicken wings in a La Caja China,
a sandbox on wheels.
Yeah, and if you've never seen one of these things, it's a whole hog cooker. It's wooden. It's lined with sheet metal.
12 inches tall.
Yeah, 12 inches tall. And it's made to put a small hog in it, and it has a rack where you can turn it over. Well, Jeff and George and Nolan, they put in half pans, and with little risers on them, and you actually put the charcoal on another flat metal tray.
Yeah,
and that's exposed, but the heat somehow goes down into the La Caja China.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Mexican word for sandbox.
No, it's not. It's Cuban.
Cuban. Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess it's Spanish.
Yeah.
So, but there's some guy in Cuba. I see it on YouTube because I almost bought.
I've never seen one before.
I almost bought one. Eric Fulkerson, the chef up at the Bald Headed Bistro in Cleveland, a couple years ago before he left, he was trying to get a whole hog festival up there in Cleveland, and he invited me to come up. And I thought, well, how am I going to cook a whole hog on? Well, I had my offset, but I said, man, that's going to take all day. I don't want to. And this La Caja China is like a microwave.
Yeah,
you can do a whole hog in 100.
He said it was like a convection.
Yeah, you can do a 125-pound hog in like 3.5, 4 hours.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And so I almost bought one, but then they canceled it. Eric left, and you know how those chefs are. They move around. They don't answer the telephones either.
Yeah.
So
Nick Thayers.
Yeah, Nick Thayers. So I did get one. But, Frank, I'm not kidding. It's almost worth buying one
to play with.
To do chicken wings in.
Yeah.
Or chicken quarters, chicken thighs.
Or the neighbor's cat.
Yeah. About that. But it tastes just like chicken.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't know the difference. But, you know, I thought that was the coolest thing that we saw down there. Was the way they cook.
By far and away the most unique.
Yeah, you can go to all these, these festivals like this thing, and you can see all the different vessels that people use, and it's amazing all the different types, like the one guy that had the big grill, like he's there every year.
Oh, it's,
What's
that's
his
what
name?
I said. Well, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It looks like something you'd see
Yeah.
at a Waffle House.
Yeah,
That you throw in and throw tops over it
Mm-hmm.
and cook about 2,000 pounds of bacon in.
and then you had Scott from Smokestack Barbecue.
Big stick burner.
Yeah, he had this huge stick offset stick burner. You had Jeremy Slavin across from us. He had his pellet smoker.
Yep.
Sean had his big Deep South 36.
And that's what Nick cooked on too.
Yeah, and Nick's cooking that on, and Sean was having trouble with his,
Yeah.
as we were.
Yeah.
We got some wanky wood, and I got some wooded. I got some wooded Publix. It wasn't Western wood. It was an off-brand, and I put the wood in the box where the wood chunks go in my smoker. And Frank and I looked out there, and there was like
Looked like an oil,
it was like
offshore oil rig
white
on
smoke
fire.
coming up, and it smelled, didn't
Oh,
it?
it was horrible. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And the wood smelled like it had like rubber stuff in it. So we pulled that out and got it running clean on charcoal.
Emergency evacuation there.
Well, that's just how cool our smoker is.
Yeah.
That you can recover so quickly. And we pulled all the chicken out, of course, when we saw that, so it wouldn't get all wanky.
And it was wanky.
It was wanky.
And
No,
look,
the
go look
smell
that up,
was.
folks. Wanky.
But we recovered from that. But it was a fun time, and we
Yeah.
appreciate everybody coming down there and everybody watching. I'm going to try one more time.
Hey, Liz Waters joined us. Hey, Liz, how are you tonight?
Liz, good to hear from you. Let's
Yeah.
try it one more time. See if we can't raise his highness.
He's going to pay for this.
I know where he is. There's only three places he goes. Home, 1885, or Charlie Loomis's place.
And I've tried to reach him also via text. So
He ain't gonna answer.
he is,
That's okay. That's okay.
yep.
I got a long memory.
Yeah.
I got a long memory. Now, let me tell you. Let me say this, folks. The next, let's see. This is April, May, June. At the end of May, June 1st, there is, if you want to see a good barbecue contest, there's a barbecue contest that is it's going to be in Lafayette, Georgia, at the Honeybee Festival. There's a KCBS event there. There'll be big name barbecue cookers there. If you want to go down to that and see some great barbecue, the Honeybee Festival on, I think it's June 1st and 2nd. And we'll have Chris Finkbone on before then to talk about it. And then after that, well, let's see, next weekend is the Battle Beneath the Clouds
Battle Beneath the Clouds at Ruby Falls
that I was asked not to come to, which is another story.
that we won't go into.
That we won't.
Yeah,
That
no.
is the most bizarro story I've ever heard. But anyway, because Sean and I behaved ourselves very well last year, but that's okay. That's,
Somewhat hard to imagine. in
that's
itself, but
okay.
hey, it's okay.
That's okay. I'm not a judge either, Hugh Morrow. So, but that's all right. I won't. I'm not angry one bit. So, and after the, but it is a good event. The Battle Below the Clouds. Please go up
yeah,
to
Ruby Falls. This
Ruby
weekend.
Falls. It's great. It's for Atlanta's Love. Jim
Jim Webster's daughter.
and his charity. It is a super event. There'll be some great barbecue up there, and go up there and spend your money. It goes to a great cause, and
He puts
I-
on a very.
I
nice
kid
event.
Hugh Morrow.
Oh, I know.
But
He's
we
a great guy.
love
Yeah, he's a
we
great guy.
love Hugh Morrow and we love Jim Webster and their families. And on June the 29th, here in Ottawa, right here, right under the shadow of White Oak Mountain at Cambridge Square, is we used to call it the Ottawa Barbecue Brawl, and it still is, but I think they're calling it now because I've let Inspire Me take over it. Miranda and Marcus Perez, they do a great job. I've given it to them. I have given it.
They've run a good event.
I turned over the big plastic thing, and I said, "Here, you take it, Marcus." and I think they're calling it the Red, White, and Brew Barbecue Contest because it's right before the 4th of July.
And it's a great event. If you guys have never been to Cambridge Square in Ottawa, do yourself a favor. Come out because it really is a beautiful, beautiful place.
And we will be there. Frank and I'll be there. We'll be serving brisket, Texas brisket. George and Jeff Maxwell are going to help us.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll be there serving Nolan. Almost forgot Nolan.
Yep.
Jeff's little son, Nolan. He'll be there with us. And Barbara, Emma, and Betty. We're gonna enlist Betty. Betty Blair.
That's gonna be
Betty
tough.
Fair Blair.
Betty Fair Blair. We'll
She
get her out.
Betty
It's gonna
Fair
be tough.
Blair. We're gonna enlist you because
Honey, if you're listening, you've been subpoenaed.
yeah, she's listening, right? Just like mine just like my family's downstairs,
Tuned out.
hanging on every
Tuned out.
word. Yeah, they're watching Jeopardy go off the air right now. So, but we will be there. We will be serving Texas brisket, and that'll be a great time too.
Yeah.
So we've got a full summer. We've got Memorial Day coming up. We've got lots of barbecue to talk about all summer long, and we'll all start right here on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show with Steve Ray and Frank Blair. We appreciate everybody listening, and
Yeah.
Nick, we appreciate you not picking up the telephone
Pulling a no-show, Nick. There.
because we have long memories.
we will hunt you down like a dog.
No, we will never talk to you again
and
Nick,
hunt you down like a dog.
because Nick, you will need me long before I need you. I promise. Because you have an automobile and it will need to be repaired someday. And I can repair automobiles, but you cannot pick up the telephone. But anyway, I tease. I love Nick Thayers.
Yeah,
He's
Nick's a
great.
guy.
I'm sure he's probably, you know what? I'm
He's
serious
sticking
talk.
his tongue out.
Serious talk. No, serious talk. I guarantee you know, I know where Nick is. He's at a restaurant somewhere because he works for Reinhardt Food Service now.
Yeah,
I guarantee you he's probably helping out at a restaurant.
probably.
Somebody didn't show up. And that's the way,
Yeah,
that's the kind of guy Nick
yeah,
Thayers
he is.
is.
Yeah,
I
he is.
guarantee you. So everybody, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday right here on the